Hey everybody, it's Cameron with Speedtech Performance, and today we're out in the shop for part 2 of our Charger chassis installation. Now for a quick 10-second recap what we did in part 1, basically we cut the whole car apart. We've cut all the floor out and we have it all prepped with weld-through primer to begin mock-up of our chassis. So step 1 of the mock-up is going to be what we are calling our T-plate. Our T-plate is designed to go in one direction, and we're going to be calling the front where you see this bigger hole up here, and then the rear. So if we go ahead and count 3 tabs back from the front, you're going to notice that that hole is bigger. That hole is actually designed to line up with the factory seat bolt anchor, and you're going to use that during the mock-up process to help hold everything in place. And then from there, another indicator of what direction or what side, you're going to notice on top of the T-plate, one of them has these bus stop areas for the welding, for the stitch welding, as well as it is tapered. The tapered side goes to the outside of the car. So after the T-plate is mounted in here, we're actually going to go ahead and do a dry fit of the chassis and set it up here in place. Again, using some of the indicators like are outlined in the instructions, one of them being the factory front leaf spring pocket mount that you keep in there, and we went over that in the last episode. So go ahead and get that mocked up with the subframe in place. So after you have the chassis in place, we're actually going to do a dry run of the suspension. And why this is important, you're going to be able to make sure that the wheels line up within the wheel opening the way that you want it. And so we're going to do the control arms and spindle in the rear, and you want to do both sides because sometimes if a quarter has been replaced or something, they could be off a little bit. So you want to ensure that both sides are fitting how you want it. And then additionally with the front, you're going to put the fenders and everything back on to check the fitment up there. So as you can see, we've removed the frame, and Jeremy went ahead and did the stitch welds at the top and the bottom. The next step, as you can see here, we have these little windows cut out, and the purpose of these is basically to attach to the rocker because of the different angles we're working with the factory rocker setup. So to give you a quick rundown is you basically push the tab in, and then we have these little filler plates, and this is all included, and you go ahead and weld it in together, along with there's a hole within the tab that you push to the rocker. Go ahead and do a spot weld with that hole as well, creating a super solid foundation to the factory rocker. So we've got the chassis back in place, and one of the next steps is we're going to take this lower rocker L plate and put it into place. And there's a couple things in here that we've made so it helps you line it up. One being this notch here. This is actually going to line up with the chassis. And while you're looking at it, the bigger notch goes to the front. So it's going to sit like this, but under the chassis, up against the factory rocker. And one important thing not to forget, weld through primer. You don't want this thing rusting out. All right, so we've got everything back in position. We've pulled measurements from everywhere to ensure that everything is flush and where we want it to be. Now, when you start welding, just a quick thing, you're going to be doing stitch welds again and kind of jump around. So you're going to start from this corner, then go to that corner and back and around as you're doing it to ensure you're not having any warpage happen. So we finished up the welding of the chassis within the frame rails there, and now we're moving to the front. So as you can see, we've reinstalled the fenders and as well as mocked up the front suspension. That way we can ensure that the wheel center line is back to where it needs to be. And again, there are slots within the front subframe, so you have plenty of movement front to back so you can lock into position. One thing that I do want to note as well, on the bottom side here of the fenders where there's the bolt holes are, because of the plates that you do add in when assembling the chassis, you are going to have to re-drill those holes. So on the back portion of the car in the trunk, what we've done to connect our chassis to the factory frame rails is we have these 2 pieces. So as far as installation, what you're going to do is obviously you're going to weld through prime them, and then we have some holes here to do your spot welds. And basically because we found some of the vehicles, the frame rails aren't all in the exact same place, we didn't make a hat channel one piece. So that's what you're going to do, is you're going to make your own hat channel, because when this sits in, it might have to be at a little bit of an angle to fit your factory frame rails. And so you're going to weld that all up. And then in the trunk where we drilled out the spot welds from the previous frame rails, you're actually going to use that to spot weld here, the top of the hat channel. Now in this car specifically, we're going to be replacing the trunk floor at a later step. So we're not going to fully weld this in to show you, but that's how it gets done. So I just want to give you an overview of what we've done to the front end here. We have went ahead and removed the rest of the factory inner fenders, and I want to point a couple things out to you. This car specifically is getting a Hellcat. The subframe is going to be sitting about an inch lower in this setup. That way the supercharger is going to clear the engine. So because of that, you can see here, this line is where we actually cut the factory fenders. Now, if you're going to be running a small block, big block, or a Hemi without a supercharger, you can go ahead and make that cut just right here at the bend. And then you're going to have to trim accordingly depending on your setup. The second cut that you're going to have to make is going to be the oval hole for the down tube. Now, in our instructions, we have this little template here that if you just print off on a standard piece of paper, it'll be the right size. One thing I want to point out is that, again, you're doing this after the subframe is in place, because if you cut the holes for the down tube and then adjust your subframe, your hole's not going to be in the right spot. So what we've done here, again, the subframe is all lined up, and then we've kind of made ourselves this little jig, and I just want to point it out. We use our adapter bracket here that comes with the kit, and then just a scrap piece of 1.5 inch tube to go ahead and line up, and then we get the angle that we need, and then we just mark that with a Sharpie. You take that Sharpie line with our handy dandy little template here, you lay it down, cut the hole out, mark the hole on the metal, and then that's where your hole for the tube's going to be, and that way you have the right angle, because it does matter. So one thing to point out with the down tube is it's been purposefully left long on each side, so trimming will need to happen on both sides of it. What we've done is we actually started on this side here, is we want to get this lined up because there are some different angles with the firewall. So you're going to want to go ahead and do this one and leave it about 1/4 inch longer than what you think you're going to need. Obviously, measure twice, 3 times, 4 times, cut once, because once it's gone, it's gone. So once you've trimmed this end here, and again, you've left it a little bit long, go ahead and mock it up in position and then make your marks where you're going to cut this end. And then you're going to weld this end to the bracket that we included here, and then take this and weld it to the plate here, and then it all bolts together. So that wraps up section 2 of this build here. So just to kind of quickly recap, we've got the full chassis welded in, the subframe, the front down tubes, and the inner fenders. And so for the next part, we're going to go ahead and get the floor installed. So again, you're going to want to subscribe so that you stay notified of when we add more episodes to our YouTube channel.